Many people believe older men stop chasing relationships because they are bitter, lonely, or emotionally broken. But the truth is very different. Most senior men simply discovered something more valuable than constant emotional chaos: peace. And once a man experiences real peace after decades of stress, sacrifice, and pressure, he becomes very careful about what and who he allows into his life. Society looks at a man over 60 who has completely stepped away from the dating market, and it instantly misdiagnoses him. They call him a cynic. They say he is damaged. They assume his heart has turned to stone. But if you actually sit down and listen to these men, you will realize that society is projecting its own fears onto them. These men are not broken. They have not lost their capacity to love. What they have done is awaken to a profound psychological reality. Their emotional energy is simply too precious to be wasted on relationships that drain them more than they fulfill them. Today, we are going to explore the massive psychological shift that occurs in the minds of senior men. We are going to dismantle the myth of the lonely old man and uncover the raw, unfiltered truth about why so many men over 60 simply do not care about chasing women anymore. Let's look under the surface. To understand why a senior man walks away from relationships, we first have to look at what relationships demanded of him for the past 40 years. From the moment a man is born, he is aggressively programmed by society to play one specific role: the provider. He is taught that a man's value is intrinsically tied to his utility. He is expected to work day and night, to endure corporate stress, to sacrifice his own rest, and to abandon his personal hobbies, all to ensure his family and his wife are satisfied. For decades, he played this role perfectly. But what did he get in return? For many men, the reward for a lifetime of sacrifice was a devastating lack of appreciation. He faced constant criticism for not doing enough. He was met with endless complaints. He slowly realized a terrifying truth about traditional relationships. He was only visible when something was needed from him. When the bills were paid and the demands were met, he became invisible. When a man reaches 60, the physical and psychological toll of being a human utility reaches its breaking point. The children are grown, the career is winding down, and he makes a radical, life-altering decision. He decides to resign. He stops performing the exhausting role of the invisible provider. He realizes that he has spent his entire life validating his existence by serving others, and he finally gives himself permission to serve himself. He no longer cares to prove his worth to women who only love him conditionally. The performance is over. When a man goes through a divorce or finds himself alone in his later years, the initial transition can be jarring. But once the dust settles, he discovers something he hasn't experienced in decades: true silence. For years, many men lived in a state of chronic nervous system dysregulation. They lived with partners who manufactured drama out of nothing. They endured silent treatments, passive-aggressive remarks, and endless arguments over trivial nonsense. They spent years walking on eggshells, hyper-vigilant, trying desperately to avoid triggering their partner's anger. But when he finds himself living alone, the absence of this drama feels like a physical weight being lifted off his chest. He wakes up on a Saturday morning, and there are no arguments. There are no artificial problems to solve. There is no one to criticize how he loads the dishwasher or how he spends his afternoon. This absolute, drama-free silence is intoxicating. It is a psychological sanctuary. Once a man tastes this level of profound peace, his tolerance for relationship drama drops to absolute zero. He realizes that for years, he equated love with anxiety. Now, he knows the difference, and he will fight to the death to protect his sanctuary. Because he has discovered the ultimate value of peace, his standards for relationships undergo a massive, fundamental shift. When a man is 30, his biology dictates his behavior. He's driven by testosterone, ego, and the thrill of the chase. He's looking for physical attraction, excitement, and passion. He will gladly endure a highly toxic, complex woman if she is beautiful. But at 60, the biological panic is gone. His primary psychological drive is no longer passion, it is stability. The senior man completely rejects the modern dating games. If a woman brings the heavy baggage of her past into his life, he walks away. If she tries to play games to test his loyalty, he walks away. If she is looking for a man to complete her or fix her chaotic life, he walks away. He has developed what we can call the 10% rule. If there is even a 10% chance that a woman is going to disrupt his inner peace, create unnecessary drama, or complicate his life, he will instantly withdraw. He isn't being arrogant. He is being a masterful risk manager. He knows that he has fewer days ahead of him than he has behind him. Time is his most precious currency, and he simply refuses to spend it on a bad investment. There is a popular narrative in modern psychology that says men struggle in relationships because they are afraid of vulnerability. Society constantly tells men to open up, to share their feelings, and to cry. But the senior man knows the dark truth about this narrative. He isn't afraid of vulnerability. He is exhausted from having his vulnerability weaponized against him. Many of these men opened up to their wives or partners in the past. They shared their deepest fears, their financial anxieties, and their emotional wounds. And almost inevitably, during an argument, those exact vulnerabilities were thrown back in their faces to cause maximum damage. They learned that a man's emotional openness is often punished, and that society's demand for male vulnerability is largely a trap. So, the senior man makes the ultimate choice. He chooses himself. He decides that he would rather have quiet, absolute solitude than conditional love. He decides that being alone with his own thoughts is infinitely safer and more fulfilling than opening his heart to someone who might use it against him. He discovers that when he stops trying to be understood by women, he finally has the time to understand himself. So, the next time you see a senior man who has stepped away from the dating world, do not pity him. Do not call him cold, or bitter, or disinterested. Understand that you are looking at a man who has graduated from the hardest school on earth. These men are not broken. They are fiercely protective of the one thing that truly matters. They have had enough of proving their worth to people who do not appreciate them. They have paid their dues to society, to their careers, and to their families. Now, the remaining years belong to them. They have chosen to live the rest of their lives in absolute peace, in total freedom, and without judgment. They haven't given up on life. They have finally started living it on their own terms. If you are a man who has reached this stage of clarity, or if you are on the path toward it, let your voice be heard in the comments below. What was the exact moment you realized your peace was more important than chasing relationships? If this video resonated with your soul, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with a brother who needs to hear this truth. Welcome to the elite circle of those who understand. Until next time, guard your sanctuary.